In this Map Suite MVC Edition sample application walkthrough, we're going to show you some basic controls of how to display your layers at different scales. So a lot of times you're not going to want to show all your data at all scales, or what we call zoom levels. And so as you zoom out or zoom in, you're going to want to be able to turn on and off different layers to make an appealing map at each zoom layer, to make it look good at each zoom level. So in this sample, we're just showing you some real simple ways to do that. So over here on the left, we've got 3 buttons, and as you can see, as we're zoomed out to the entire world, which is a scale of 1 to 100 million there, we just are showing the country boundaries and nothing else. If I click the next button, which will be 1 to 10 million, we've zoomed in dramatically, but we're still out quite a ways, and we're starting to see some of the major cities that we want to show in the United States. If we go back, you'll see the major cities are not displayed at this scale because it would be too cluttered and there would be too much information on the map at that zoom level. But at this one, it's nice, and you can see the city names and the points and locations where they're at. If we take it even one step further and go 1 to 10,000, that's going to zoom us into like a city street level, and at that level we want to show some local roads and things of that nature, where you wouldn't want to show that at this level or this one, because it would just be too detailed of information for that given scale. So let's take a look at the code to show how you can set this up, and also how we are zooming into these different scales using some client APIs. So let's take a look at the view source, and I guess at the very top we've got our JavaScript here, and this is where we're actually zooming into the appropriate scale. So you can see on each of the buttons here, we're just calling that zoom to scale and passing in the scale that we want. And the zoom to scale is a client-side API off of the map. So if you ever want to zoom to a specific scale, you can just call this, and it's a real quick and dirty way that will zoom it in accordingly to the scale of your choice. So that's how that's happening on those button clicks. Now, to set up your layers and your data to only be displayed at certain zoom levels or scale, we'll take a look at this code here. So here's where we're adding the map to the page, setting its map unit. In this case, we're working with decimal degree data, and we're going to zoom in our extent, for that part of the world when the map loads. And we're going to disable some mouse tools just to make this sample a little more simple. Down here, we're dealing with 3 layers, the ones you saw displayed at various scales. We've got our world layer, which represents the boundaries or the borders of every country in the area that it consumes on the world, and we're just adding that one. And in this one, you can see we're applying it from zoom level 1 to zoom level 20. So this one's being displayed at all scales, the world layer. The next one is our cities layer, and we're loading that shape file, and we're setting the style that we want on that, the point style, how we want it rendered. We're just going to use a built-in City3 point style. And we're setting our text style, how we want to label it, and what column name we want to use, and font, etc. And then we're actually putting a halo pin on our label too, to give it that extra little nice look. But this cities layer, we're only showing from zoom level 5 until zoom level 20. So that's telling the map control, hey, if we get to zoom level 4 to 1, don't display the city points because we're zoomed out too far. So here we're going 1 to 20, here we're going 5 to 20. So as you can see, this is only going to show up, in those 15 zoom levels, where this one's showing up in all 20. And then finally, we've got our streets layer, which is representing Austin, Texas, and some of its local streets. And we're just going to render it as some local roads. And in this case, we're only applying it from zoom level 10 to 20. So we need to be zoomed in, to 10 or lower before these local roads will show up. And once we go to zoom level 9, they'll disappear, just like these disappeared when we went to zoom level 4. So this is just a real basic sample to show you how you can manage what layers are displayed at any given zoom level or scale. And that can be very helpful as you're building your application. You want to have good-looking maps at each zoom level that you're allowing your user to go to. So I hope this sample app walkthrough has been helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, or you can post your questions directly on our discussion forums at thinkgeo.com/forums. Thank you for watching.